know, and I don't give a damn. Do you give a damn? Do you really care? I don't really care. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Mercy Artist, and I am back today with the first episode of my story. Today I'm gonna talk about my father. But before we do that, I wanna make sure that I give you a little bit of what else is coming on this channel. Would you believe it if I told you today that I have met Snoop Dogg in person? Not only did I speak with him, I also partied with him in one of his friends' birthday parties. Would you believe if I told you that I have actually seen these huge American celebrities and people in real life? I have seen Oprah Winfrey. I have seen President Barack Obama at a very close range. I have seen Michelle Obama. I have seen Caroline Kennedy. I have seen Stevie Wonder. I have seen Neo performing. I have spoken with Seal in person at a close range for more than 10 minutes. So what happened? How come I didn't grab the opportunity and run with it? How come I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire today? Why did I sleep in class? Please tune in to learn about how, where did I meet these celebrities? How do you meet American celebrities? How do you get a chance to speak with them? Okay, so that is coming also as we continue the story. But right now, let's go right into it. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Let's talk about my father. Who was my father? My father's name is Paul Onyango Muyama. Paul Peter Onyango Muyama. He always liked to call himself PP. PP. Now, my father was born in 1920s. Yeah, trust me, yeah, he was. Yes. Yes, my father was born in 1920s. And when he was a very young boy, according to him, the story that he told me with his own mouth is that they used to wear only animal skins and had cows, stuff like that. And this animal skin, they used to tie on their waist. And then when they are walking, and some people are coming from this side, then you have to turn it around like this, and then around like that, and around like that. They had no clothes when he was born. And also, according to my father, one day when he was just going about his business in his animal skin, he met a white missionary man. Now, when I tell my story, please note that I do not underestimate the huge suffering and the colonization and the brutality that many African people or many Kenyan people underwent under the white colonialism rule. It just so happened that my father was one of the few lucky Kenyans who met good white people. Let's also not acknowledge that even though the bad people and the racist white people and the bad white people get a lot of attention and publicity, there are many good white people in the world. So my father, I can say he was lucky because he met good white people and they changed his life forever. They actually took him to one of the first schools in Kenya. This was Yala, St. Mary's School Yala. They were Catholic missionaries. St. Mary's School Yala was one of the very first schools that ever existed in Kenya. And according to my father, they saw him through school, they paid, they sponsored his education up to the highest level of education that was available in Kenya at the time when he was growing up. When he graduated from college, my father became a teacher. And he was very passionate about his teaching career. You know those passionate teachers? Yes, my father was one of them. And because of that, he was very quickly promoted from being a teacher to deputy principal, to principal, and even after that, he was promoted to be the inspector of schools in the whole of Siaya district, which now is Siaya County. My father is very well known, or was very well known, because he's passed on, may he rest in peace. He was very, very well known as teacher, simply as teacher. Japuonj. In Luo they say Japuonj. So every time myself and all my siblings, we were always referred to as teacher's daughter or teacher's son. Nyar Japuonj, Wodi Japuonj, Nyar Japuonj, Nyar Japuonj, Nyar Japuonj Paulo, like daughter of teacher Paul, daughter of teacher Paul. That is how I was referred to as in the village. I want to describe my father, and I hope, because my father had so many children, I hope this is in legacy and in respect with all my siblings, both from my mother and my step siblings. I want to describe my father to you simply as a white man living in a black man's body. Why do I say that? My father had so many, he had adopted so many white people ways, if I can tell you. In the village when I was growing up, my father always spoke to me in English. In the village, my father spoke to me in English along with my other siblings. Even my mother didn't know English, or my stepmother, but he always spoke to me in English. And that is one thing and one reason that explains why I'm always so fluent in the English language. I am extra fluent in English. Yeah, I can speak, read, write English very, very, very fluently, no problem. Okay, many Kenyans can, but it's always been my favorite subject from nursery to primary to high school. If you look at my KCSE results, that is Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education results, I performed highest in English through college. So my father always spoke to me in English in the village. Another thing about my father that makes me call him a Mzungu inside a black man's body is because he always, in the village, remember I was born after my father had already retired from teaching. My father always, every single day, he wore a full suit and tie. Every day, even when he was not going anywhere, even when he was not going to work, he was always wearing a suit and a tie. And they were not just a suit and a tie, very well ironed, like ironed, ironed suit and tie, just to sit on the floor, just to sit by our house under the big mango tree that was always in front of our house. My dad always polished his shoes, polished until they were shining. So you can imagine, not going to work, not going anywhere, but wearing suit, tie, very polished shoes and socks. Okay, this was his daily routine. He woke up, he brushed his teeth, just everything like he was going to work. He also had a daily newspaper, like Daily Nation, Daily Standard. He had all the newspapers. Every single day he read the newspaper from the front page to the last page. Yeah, so that is my father. If you want to know about my dad, he always read the newspaper. Also, my dad really used to like tea. Yeah, like the Mzungu English tea, like the British English tea. He used to like tea a lot. If you wanted to have a fight with my father, just deny him tea and then you will have a fight. But if you just gave my father tea, it didn't matter when there was no but I just give my father tea. The milk tea was always preferable, and he had a very specific cup where you have to serve his tea. So if you didn't serve his tea in this cup, he wouldn't drink it. He had a specific utensils where he used to eat. And my father always, I say he's also a Mzungu in a black man's body, because in the village most people we eat with our hands. My father would never ever eat with his hands. He always ate with a spoon and a fork. Imagine, he always ate with a spoon and a fork. From everything that I can remember clearly from my late father, he was the best father any child could ask for in their life. He loved his kids so much. He valued education so much. For all school meetings, he was always the first parent to attend. He never missed a school board. He never missed anything that had to do with education. He always made sure that school fees was paid on time, that you had good uniforms that were not torn or anything like that. He always made sure that he put education as top priority for all his kids. And this explains why some of my siblings, they are so successful, okay? My step siblings and my real siblings, they are so successful. So yes, my father told me one story at one time, the reason why she values that all her daughters must go to college. One of my stepdaughters had finished high school and had gone to a teaching college. So when she was in college, she met a man and she fell in love with the man. Yeah, you understand? My father always told me this story over and over and over and over again. She met a man and she fell in love with this man. And she dropped out of college and she went to live with this man. And my father heard about it. And my father went to this man's house and got my daughter out and took her back to college. This is now a college girl. This is not a young girl. And he told his daughter that go ahead and finish college and get a job. After you finish college, please, you can marry the same man. I have no problem with the man because the man was also a successful man. It just so happened that my stepsister listened to my father. She actually went back to college. She graduated from college and then she married the same man. They had a wonderful life. They had 3 children. But unfortunately, after a while, the husband passed on. Now, my father would always tell me, can you imagine what her life would be if she didn't graduate from college? Imagine now, her husband is gone. How would she survive with the 3 kids? So that is why I wanted to go to college. And my father always wanted everybody to become a teacher. My family, my step family is full of teachers. Me, as a kid, I can never tell you anything negative about my father. I really loved him so much. He was a good father. Okay, I can't say negative about my father. My father was also a very friendly and very social human being. Every single day, when like you could take a walk with my father, like let's say you are leaving our home, yeah, and you are going to the market. The market is named like Nduru, yeah, Nduru Market. If you are going to Nduru Market, he would stop 1 million times to say hi to people, to greet people. Like he always had to greet everybody with his hands. Leave alone the hi. He always had to stop and greet you with your hand and check on you, talk to you. How are you doing? Look, give you that eye contact. Hope everything is okay. Have a conversation. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. It would take like somewhere that should be a 5 to 10 minute walk would take my father like 2 hours to get there because he's still meeting and socializing with everybody in the village. He also liked to read books and just everything, education, everything done. And my father had a friend that was so close and so dear to his heart. The friend also happened to be his cousin. His name was Wambia. The Wambia family, I send you greetings. May your dad also rest in peace. I remember that they had this strong friendship, so that every evening when now they were supposed to say bye to each other, they would escort each other and then escort each other back. Escort, like nobody wants to say bye. They were friends throughout my entire life. And I don't remember them ever having any disagreement, whatever. I don't remember. I only remember that I was told that when Wambia passed away before my dad. When Wambia passed on, my dad totally collapsed. My dad collapsed somewhere on a rock and really hurt himself so bad. Yeah. So that is my father for you. That is Paul Peter Onyango for you. How did he treat my mother? I actually, honestly, never once saw him beat my mother. I never once saw him lay his hands on my mother. And I also remember that when my mom passed on, a story that is coming very soon, when my mom passed on, he testified, like the way you give testimony, that they never had a fight. They only had a fight once in their something like 27-year-old marriage. They only had physical fight one time in 27 years of marriage. And that is pretty good, you know. That's pretty good for an African family. Like I said, I don't know if I already said that my father was a polygamous man. And he had 2 wives. And this was not something that was, you know, not common. It was something that was very common. And if I remember very well, in my village, nobody had 1 wife. My father, the the next neighbor, the next neighbor, the next. Everybody had more than one wife. And I'm sharing this story because I'm hoping to God that by the time we finish this series, God will send me an angel to hold my hands, to finally reach my dreams, to finally reach my destinies. I know that I have the potential. I have the ability to make it. I know I can do it. But I need one angel. I need one person to hold my hands and help me reach my dreams. And so I'm begging you, wherever you are, if you are that person, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Don't hesitate to reach out to me through my email, through my phone, through my WhatsApp. Please, please. Let's go. Send me just one person who will believe in me. Send me just one person who will be on my side. I am alone. Send me just one person who will believe in me. Send me just one person who will be on my side. I had to start my story with my father because my father is where the dreams come from. My father is the one who instilled in me the dream of going abroad, to go to USA or UK. Every single day when I was growing up, my father would say, Mercy, I want you to go to USA or UK. Do you know what USA stands for? And I would say, yes, I do. I would always be so happy. And I said, United States of America. And he would be like, correct, good. And then he would ask me, do you know what UK stands for? And I would say, United Kingdom. And he would say, very good. So I grew up with this mentality that I have to go, or I want to go to USA or UK. USA or UK. So imagine, from a very, 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 very small child. I don't know if my father told this to all my siblings, but specifically, I remember him telling me this almost every single day of my life. And so all my life, I wanted to go. There was no specific reasons of how I'm going to go to the USA, when I'm going to go to the USA, what I'm going to go to the USA to do, or to the UK. But there was always that in my head all day. I want you to go to USA or the UK. USA or the UK. So it is my dad that gave me that dream to go abroad. So I always had it as a kid. Thank you so much for listening today, and please make sure you subscribe. Tune in tomorrow because tomorrow I'm gonna speak about my mother. Okay, my mother is gonna be a sensitive topic, might have some breakdown, I don't know. It's a very sensitive topic tomorrow, so make sure you tune in, make sure you watch. Otherwise, again, I'm closing this as I tell you, this is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all that day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all that day long.